Today I will be speaking upon why the fears on automation are not overblown. First, I will be giving a brief definition of the word automation. According to Techopedia, automation is the creation and application of technologies to produce and deliver goods and services with minimal human intervention. The implementation of automation technologies, techniques, and processes improve the efficiency, reliability, and/or speed of many tasks that were previously performed by humans. Have you noticed within the last few years, but especially within this last year under the pandemic, the increase in delivery services, checkout lines, and even ads that pop up on your phone while using the internet or social media? This is the doing of automation, the gradual crossing over to an almost completely artificially intelligent way of life. The first and foremost point I will be discussing today is the matter of unemployment and job security. According to MemoryAI.com, 72% of Americans are concerned about their future in the job market where a machine can easily replace the job of a human, doing it faster and more effectively at that. This can very quickly result in a mass amount of unemployed Americans. Some researchers are predicting that by 2030, 80% of all retail jobs will be fully replaced by machine-operated attendances. The argument on the side of supporting this implementation states that the tasks that are being replaced are low value, repetitive, and cognitively unrewarding. Although this statement holds mostly true, we mustn't forget about the people who may work these mundane jobs as second or third jobs trying to make ends meet. The mundaneness can be a nice break from their other more rigorous jobs. We must acknowledge the people who may not have finished their education and can only get these kinds of jobs. Maybe some people who work these jobs have limitations, physically or mentally. Not everyone with a mental illness or limiting capabilities are entitled to free healthcare. They must work to pay for the therapy or medication. According to TheGuardian.com, robots are likely to result in a further hollowing out of the middle class. The reason is known as Moravec's paradox. Computers are great for reasoning, but often unconscious. Sensory motor knowledge that has evolved in the human brain over millions of years is impossible to imitate. As it is clear with every passing year, the middle-class Americans are slowly diminishing. The push and demand for constructing working robots increase. We have to acknowledge the type of work that will be going into these machines. There will only be room for the people fortunate enough to have gone to college and gained the experience and skills they need to help design and build these machines. We can refer to these people, generally speaking, as upper-class citizens. Once a design has been constructed, there will be a need for engineers, the people who put together these kind of machineries, inevitably mass producing them to sell to companies. These will most likely be people of the lower class, the kind of people who will accept being paid under wage and working long hours, ultimately squeezing out the job opportunities even more than now for the middle class Americans. Let's take a step away from the capitalist point of view of automation for a second and dive into the mental health aspect of automation. According to Quartz.com, mass automation will not just jeopardize jobs, but also the emotional health of workers. The more people who lose their jobs due to automation, the larger the portion of the population will suffer from depressive episodes. We are currently living in an age where depression is at an all-time high. There are many factors that play a part into why that is. However, the over-reliance on our phones, technology, and convenient services play a huge role into the why factor. According to RealSimple.com, the average American spends well over 3 hours a day on their smartphone. We crave the instant gratification of an Instagram like, the convenience of having one-day shipping from Amazon, and even allowing our computer-generated algorithms to tell us what kind of music to listen to, what kind of food to eat, and even who to spend our time with. Have you noticed that when you speak about a new gadget or research a couple articles surrounding it, you are all of a sudden getting bombarded with advertisements circulating that one thing? This is by no means an accident. Our phones are constantly working to provide us with a more personalized feed. Although some may argue this is merely a way to make life simpler and have us make less decisions by promoting things that have already been on our minds, the people and machines behind this method of personalization are not doing it in our best interest. The only thing that allows us to have these free and addicting apps are the presumed ad revenue that Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook will receive. Every second you spend watching an ad or interacting with it is another cent that goes into these major companies' pockets. This is extremely deteriorating to our mental health and our pockets. Not to mention the science that goes into every single detail of designing these kinds of apps. From the color blue on Facebook triggering the emotion of trust and reliability, to when Instagram sends you a notification of a friend who hasn't posted in a while to get you back on the app, evidently forcing you to watch these ads, which then, well, you get my point. It is a constant and vicious cycle of addiction. We have developed an app for everything, even dating. A once nerve wracking yet heart racing decision of asking someone out on a date has been taken over by the automation of dating. They say our phones and computers are bringing us together now more than ever. However, I stand to argue the opposite. The value and quality of dating nowadays has decreased down to a mere swipe left or right, hot or not. This is very sad. People are no longer given that heart racing feeling of getting to know someone, as every person with a social media account can be traced, ergo, the kind of music they listen to, where they grew up, and who they hang out with. These are already things known to us due to the convenience of automated smart device. We walk into an in-person dating we walk into an in-person date with the preset mindset and judgment of the other person most of the times not even without even realizing it. The spark of getting to know someone new has been replaced with the electric spark of machinery and technology. Automation can definitely help people. However, the downfall of it is much greater than any benefit it can hold. With machines advancing quicker than the human race can keep up with, it should be alarming to everyone that these machines are able to make decisions for us, pry our eyes away from actual human interaction, and even spending quality time with loved ones. This is a field that should not be taken lightly, and we as the human race should err on the side of caution.